On this episode, we break in our new long-term 2020 Subaru Outback Onyx XT. It's coming up right now on Driving Sports TV.
It's finally here! This is the Subaru that you built.
Before we head off on our first adventure, let's take a closer look at all the features you guys picked out for our 2020 Outback Onyx XT. Under the hood is Subaru's trademark Boxer motor. This is the new 2.4-liter FA24 engine borrowed from the Ascent. It's turbocharged and features direct injection to provide both power and economy. You're looking at 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque with regular fuel. EPA rates this drivetrain at 30 miles to the gallon on the highway and 23 around town. The only transmission option is a CVT connected to Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive system. And since this is an Onyx XT model, that means it has dual X mode.
In the back, we optioned the tow hitch. Now, we did that not for what you would normally think about. Actually, we're going to mount a camera on that.
You can open the back simply by waving over the logo. Because we opted for the all-season mats, the included carpet mats are still in a sealed bag. With the seats folded down, you can see our combination of rear seat protectors and trunk liner to protect the interior from our mountain adventures. Because 3 out of 4 of the seasons in the Pacific Northwest can be really muddy, we opted to put mud mats in both the front and second rows as well. When I did the live stream to spec this vehicle out, I wasn't 100% sold on the Abyss Blue Pearl color. But in person, it looks amazing, especially in combination with the blacked out accessories. Even though all Outbacks come with a roof rack with foldable cross supports, we did have to option the power moonroof. That came with the rear auto braking and 11.6-inch multimedia navigation upgrade. When speccing out a crossover, not everybody allows you to opt for factory underbody armor. But Subaru does, so we went with protection both for the oil pan as well as the rear differential. All Onyx XT models get a gray synthetic StarTex interior. This should wear better than leather, and it's supposed to remain cool even in direct sun, something we'll definitely try out this summer. The green contrast stitching combined with the blue exterior kind of give it a Seattle Seahawks or Sounders FC vibe, and I'm honestly okay with that. Altogether, the price adds up to $40,017 US as you see it here. And I think you really do get a lot for the money. We left very few options off the table, even going with an upgraded Rockford Fosgate sound system, upgraded mirrors, and a footwell illumination kit. Of course, like all Outbacks, our Onyx XT also came with Subaru's Eyesight System. This provides collision mitigation and adaptive cruise control with lane centering. It also has blind spot identification and optional rear auto braking. For the 2020 Outback update, Subaru left no safety stone unturned.
This is kind of like the ultimate family road trip vehicle. Only problem is, there's no CD player. But that's where Audible comes in. Fact is, it's a service that I've used and loved for years. And with a mobile device and Apple CarPlay, it's even easier. Yes, they are sponsoring this video, but yes, I also really love their service and I've been using it for years. To get it right now, visit audible.com/DSTV. That's like Driving Sports TV, but initials. Or text DSTV to 500-500. I have a 13-year-old daughter and a 10-year-old boy. Finding something they both can agree on is really difficult. On our last trip to the coast, we used our credit for Mr. and Mrs. Bunny, Detective Extraordinaire, written and narrated by Polly Horvath. She's perhaps best known for her award-winning book, Everything on a Waffle. Even with road trips on hold and kids at home, Audible has a large collection of self-help fitness, parenting, and mental health books. Every month, members get 1 credit to pick a title, plus Audible originals from a monthly selection. Again, visit audible.com/DSTV or text DSTV to 500-500.
To get this adventure started, let's jump straight to our off-road test drive.
The last time we went up here, there was snow. Now, none, which is great. Hopefully, the course is still in one piece. Now, I've already been up this course with the non-turbo version, but the non-turbo isn't exactly the same as this one. This one even uses a different CVT. This is called the High Torque Cvt. Now, functionally, they should be identical. Let's find out. Thankfully, I did option the Subaru Authentic Underbody Protection, both under the oil pan as well as the rear diff. So at least we got some underbody protection going today. Yeah. Now it's time for the hill climb. I am going to use X mode, which is Subaru's off-road mode. I'm going to go ahead and select snow and dirt because that should minimize tire spin. Now, if this was deep snow or mud or something where I need a lot of that momentum, then I would switch to deep snow and mud. And we will explore that later in the series. But right now, I just want to see how this does compared to all the other crossovers we've already taken up here. This is, of course, the turbocharged engine, so it has the most horsepower you can get out of a Subaru Outback today.
Dual X mode optimizes throttle, brakes, and the all-wheel drive system to better respond to tricky conditions. In this snow-dirt setting, if it detects slip in a wheel, it adds brake, which minimizes power loss through that wheel, effectively redirecting power back into the system to the wheels with grip. Many systems do this, some better than others. What makes the Subaru system so effective, it's built to be part of the DNA of the Outback. Other vehicles might feature an off-road mode, but that doesn't always mean it's built to do it all day long. Some struggle with moving power around, while others are more effective at redistributing that power.
I need to caveat for those who haven't seen me do this hill climb before. The idea is not to see if it can make it up. We know we can get it up the hill. The question is, how does it do it? So along the way, I'll do things you might normally not want to do, such as stop, because that breaks your momentum. But here, I'm trying to demonstrate how the system reacts. Now, this is our first real challenge right here as we lift a wheel. Well, don't totally lift it, but you know, it removes some traction. Great. Okay, so now we're seeing how this system works. Whew, works pretty good. Also keep in mind, these are with the standard street tires that come on this vehicle. Later in the series, we'll throw on some ATs, all-terrain tires, and see how that improves the whole dynamic. So I'm going to turn on my front camera here. This is an Onyx XT, so it has it. Nice. Oh, so easy. Now it's time for the more challenging stuff. Let's see if it can maintain momentum and keep that power down. And if we can avoid scraping. Ooh, yeah. Of course, this has 8.7 inches of ground clearance, which is quite a lot for the class. It should be plenty to get over all of these rocks and ditches. So far, the CVT is crawling along just fine. Much better than a twin clutch setup. We got a really thick rock up here. Let's see if we're going to clear it or if we're going to go ding on that underbody armor. Oh, I think we're going to clear it. Yay. Great. Well, that was not that difficult. I didn't expect it to be because the standard NA one does just fine as well. Now let's venture a little deeper into the woods and see how things look.
I was a little concerned about clearance on this first major obstacle, so I kind of tiptoed over, as you can see here. At this moment, I'm thinking rock sliders may not be a bad upgrade. But the Outback handled it just fine. On I pressed up the mountain and into the rugged wilds of the Pacific Northwest.
So far, I've made it about as far as I got with Carlina in the Toyota Highlander, but keep in mind, it was completely covered in snow and ice. But now you can see what was under that snow and ice, and it's not very nice. Wow, that's a huge ditch. Let's go to the left. Okay, now I got to get out and move a rock. Nope. Now I feel actually like when you have a car for a whole year, it kind of makes it feel like it's more yours, right? Now, normally I'm given a car for a week, I hand it back when I'm done. If I scratch it, I hope not to scratch it, but if I do, they can fix it and they'll send it to the next person. This one, yeah, I have it a whole year, so I can't break it today, that's for sure. Right here is the spot where Carlina and I got stuck with the RAV4 TRD Pro. And I was hoping that there would be no snow ahead of me from here, but there is. So let's just see how far we can go without really risking too much. I have to make sure not to scratch up the side. Those twigs are looking pretty tight. Whoop, slippery, slippery. Now we are in X mode, and I do have, of course, a shovel and a tow strap. We're gonna grind. Ooh, oh, not bad. Looks like it's almost exactly 8.7 inches of ground clearance. The snow, that is. Yes. Whew, so tight.
So far, nothing really stressed the all-wheel drive system, so I managed to keep it more in the standard X mode system. In future episodes, we'll be going much deeper into X mode and finding more complicated situations to try it out on. So if you have a Subaru with standard X mode, just know that it could handle all the stuff you saw today, no sweat.
And it looks like we're actually going to make it. This is the final stretch right before the pipe, which is just as far as I wanted to get. Couldn't get there in the Toyota Highlander, the RAV4 TRD Pro, even the 4Runner. But they also had, they were faced against a lot of snow. And obviously, that's going to make things more difficult. Well, this is cool. Ooh, little scraping. Again, got armor, don't care. Finally made it to the water crossing. Let's see. Hey. Never done this in a crossover. Let's see how it does. And not to break it. Yes. Ha! If there's something you want us to do with this Onyx XT, post a comment below. We're gonna read everything, and granted, we're not gonna take it on the Rubicon, but we can still do some pretty cool adventures. So post those comments, subscribe, give a like, share this video, and we'll see you again next week. Oh boy, can I do this without getting too wet? Oh, I'm gonna get wet. So cold. So cold.